December. And we decided I got asked to do something a little different. Instead of cooking today, Stacy's Kitchen is now Stacy's Craft Kitchen. So we're going to be making a fun little craft today. So I did have to think, well, people think about craft. Well, I'm not an artist. I can't paint and I can't sew. This is an easy craft that anybody can do. You see them all over the stores these days, these cute little gnomes. And so they're a lot of fun and they're easy to do. And it's something to keep us busy in the holidays. It's a great gift for yourself. If you need a little gift for somebody else, it's just such a nice touch to give somebody something you've made yourself. So they could be just a little holiday decoration, but they're also pretty hefty. They make a great little doorstop as well. So why gnomes? So our little Christmas gnomes here are rich in Scandinavian history. So now the garden gnome that we all know may have originated in Britain, but the lore of the gnome is really a big Scandinavian and Norse mythology. They come from way back in lore. In Norway, they're called tomtes, and they are the guardians of the farmstead. So way back when, it was believed that they were actually the spirits of the first farmstead owner went into the gnomes and they became guardians of the farmsteads. They're neither good nor evil, but they can be a little mischievous. Now we have Santa in Western culture, but a lot of Scandinavian cultures actually believe it's the gnome or elves that bring toys on Christmas. So you've got to be good if you want your gnome to bring you some presents. Also, don't leave any cookies out for your gnome. Your gnome wants a bowl of porridge on Christmas Eve. So leave him a bowl of porridge to make sure he leaves presents for you and all the kids if you want to find out about a new lore. It's a lot of fun learning about the different holiday traditions of other countries. And these gnomes are just a really fun traditional folklore item. You see them all over the place these days. So we're going to make one together today. And it's not hard. You only need a few ingredients. Let's stick with our cooking theology. And so to get started here, what we have, I'm going to bring our camera down a little bit. So our little gnomes are made with socks. I've gotten almost everything here from the Dollar Tree store. So I have these. I decided to use a little darker color. So we've got these two socks here. Of course, they came in a pair of two. I could use the same sock for his body and his hat. I've chosen to do two socks. I'm going to do his body in black, and I'm going to do his hat in a little red and black check gingham here. But you absolutely could do a monochrome gnome and do them all in one color. So now, because I have two of these, I can make two gnomes. The other thing I got from the Dollar Tree was a package of white socks, just men's long socks. This came with 3 pairs. So now I've got a pair of socks for me, and I can still make a couple of gnomes. What we need next is a little bit of polyfill. If you do crafts or you do anything like that, we only need enough to fill his hat with. So not too bad here. If you don't have that, I'll tell you, cotton balls will work just fine. I have a couple of tiny rubber bands here. These are great. We're not going to rely on them. We're going to use some string too, because over time, rubber band's going to get dry and it can easily pop. This little dark one I have here, just so you know, I got this one off of a pack of green onions from the grocery store. So when you get to your grocery shopping, you can actually save some of these tiny rubber bands, but they're also available at the Dollar Tree. I have some twine here. Any kind of string or twine will work. You can even use a pretty ribbon if you'd like. It's up to you. I have a little bit of blush here. You can get it from the Dollar Tree store. Ladies, you can just get it from your makeup drawer. But what we're going to do with this is his nose. It's kind of this bright white. We're just going to give him a little skin color with that. We're going to have some string. I'm actually using dental floss, believe it or not. It ties up great. And we're going to need something for his beard. So this, you do have to get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or Joann's, but you have a couple of different options. So at Michael's and Hobby Lobby, they sell it in the craft section in sheets. It's just a couple of dollars. It's like $3. If you have your 40% or your 50% coupon, you can just get a whole package of this for just a couple of dollars. If you go to the fabric store, you can get a whole bunch. So now this runs, it's expensive. It runs about $16, $17 a yard. I got an 1/8 of a yard. So for just a couple of dollars, I was able to get this much and I can make a whole bunch of them. So at the end, I do have a couple of hacks for you if you don't want to go to more than one store, if you don't want to go to the craft store or the material store, a couple of other things that you can do as well. So let's get started. Our main ingredient, white rice. Just regular long grain rice. You can get it very cheaply. We're going to need anywhere from 2 to 4 cups, depending on how big you want your gnome. So let's get started. Our gnome's main body is going to be our big white sock. Is going to be our big white sock here. I'm going to take it. And right about the heel, I'm just going to cut it off. We don't need all this extra. To make it easy to fill, I'm going to put my sock in a cup here, fold it over. This way I don't have to try and get my rice into the tiny hole while I'm trying to hold a sock. So I'm just going to fill this up with rice. And that's about 1 cup. Let's put in 2 cups and see where we are. And again, you can make a tiny gnome or you can make a big gnome. It's completely up to you. The amount of rice you put in his body. So he's kind of small. I think I'm going to go a little bigger with this guy. Maybe I'll make him a 3-cupper. Okay, let's see what we got. And I can always take some out. All right. That looks pretty good. So there's my gnome. That's it. That's the body of my gnome. Gonna fluff him around a little bit. Then at the top here, all I'm gonna do is take a piece. I'm gonna take a rubber band I have here to help me just hold it in place. But again, rubber bands over time, they're definitely going to get hard and probably break. I'm gonna put that rubber band there. Then I'm gonna take, believe it or not, a piece of dental floss, but you can use kite string, you can use twine, you can use anything you want. Dental floss is easy, always have it at home if you don't have any string. I'm just going to tie this off tightly. And that's it, keep my rice in place. All of this is going to be covered up by his hat, so I don't even have to worry about that. Okay, so here we go. I've got a nice little fat gnome started for us here. Our next step is going to be a nose. So towards the top, you need to have a little bit of space up here for your hat to sit on. So just a little bit down, I'm just going to pinch my rice. I'm going to come here, I'm going to pinch it, I'm going to pinch it, pinch it, pinch it until I get a nose. I can make a big nose like a lot of gnomes have. I can make a tiny little nose. You can design your nose however you want. So you see how I'm just pinching up a bunch of rice here? That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to take my little rubber band and I'm going to help to hold it in place for me here. Get him up in there. Oops, now, oh, see, I didn't pinch good enough. That's okay. There we go. Because I had him laying down, but I got to keep him this way so I can keep his nose in place. And that's it. There's my little gnome nose. I'm going to take a piece of floss. I'm going to tie that off too nice and tight so that he'll last me and he'll stay in shape. I'm just going to do my dental floss there. Give it really tight. I'm going to put about 2 or 3 little knots in it, and that's it. Now my gnome has a nose. Perfect. Okay. He's got a nice big nose too. I like that. Now for the blush. His nose will be showing, and he's kind of a little pale there. Looks like maybe he got a little too much snow on him. So I'm just going to take any color of little blush here with a little brush, and I'm going to give my gnomes. Now, all of this white sock is going to be covered, so I don't have to be neat. I can get it anywhere I want to get it. And now, looks like my gnome has got a little color to him, a little nose with a little color there. Okay, so here we go. There's our little gnome. So now he needs a little color because he's a little boring. So I've decided to use my black sock. This is a little sparkly sock. It's kind of fun. I'm going to cut this sock off also at the heel. All I'm going to do is I'm going to shove Mr. Gnome right inside of this sock. All of these extra strings are going to be glued underneath his hat and his body. You don't even have to worry about your leftovers there. So let's see here. I'm going to bring him up. Now I'm going to get it under his nose, bring it up the sides here. And I'm going to bring it up just a little higher in the back to make sure that my hat covers all of the white sock. And there he is. So there's our little body for our little gnome. Okay. So now's when our glue gun comes in handy. So with my glue gun, also just so you know, you can get these little glue guns at the Dollar Tree and the 99-cent store too. And even if you're not a crafter, I suggest everybody have a glue gun at home. This little guy has saved me on chores, and I have fixed so many things with him. If you just need a quick little fix, it's great. I'm just going to go right around here, and I'm going to tack his little jacket right onto the white sock. I'm going to get another glue sticker ready. And you can see I'm just going right around the edges here. And just stick him on. The only thing I'm going to make sure, I'm going to come under here. I'm going to just pull under his nose. I'm going to put a little dab right under his nose to make sure that his clothes stay in place. There we go. Now, my little guy here, I made a little fat gnome here. He's just kind of a chubby little guy. If you want your gnome taller, the trick is just to take a piece of twine or a piece of ribbon and tie it around. You know what? He's sparkly. I think I'm going to use my sparkly ribbon on him. If you're doing a more rustic gnome with some rustic colors, I think the twine looks great, makes him look a little more formy. But I think I'm going to try the sparkly ribbon here. All this is going to do is add a little stability to the center of my gnome, and it'll help him to stand up straighter. So I can push him. You can see I'm kind of making him tall. Take this pretty sparkly ribbon and tie a nice little bow in the back. You can tie it in the front, but don't forget his beard is going to be hiding the front of him. So if you don't want the bow shown, tie the bow in front and it will absolutely be covered up by his beard. But now he has a nice little frill in the back of him. So now he'll stay standing taller. Again, if you like a little chubby fat guy, just leave him like that with no string. And if you want him to stand a little taller, just tie a string around him. That's all it takes. Now for our beard. Now, when you get any kind of this fur, I'll show you on this side. You see how my fur comes out below the line here? If I were to say I wanted to make this shorter, if I were to just cut like this, I'm going to cut off his beard. So when you cut this kind of fur, you need to take your scissors and open it, make a part, just like you're parting your hair. You want to bring up your fur, down your fur, and then you want to cut just along the backing so that when I do make that cut, his beard will come back down and flow. Okay, so actually, I think I kind of like that beard coming down like that. But to fit under his nose, what I am going to do is I'm going to come here and I'm going to bring my fur out so I don't cut it. I'm going to just cut a little V out here. So I'm just bringing my fur. I'm parting it just like I would hair. And I can absolutely see the center there. I'm going to fold this in half. I'm going to just make 2 little snips here. And I'm going to bring my fur up and bring my fur down so that I don't cut any of this fur that's coming down for his mustache off. Okay, I can see where the fur goes into the net, into the bottom there. I'm just going to go right along here and cut myself out a little swatch to go right under his nose. And all the hair that he needed, still down just like that. So now let's lay our little guy down here and let's fit him with a beard. So I'm just going to come under his nose and pull up like this, real tight. I'm going to take a look. What do you think? Nice long beard and it kind of comes down like that. I think that's perfect. I'm just going to glue it on now. Again, under the nose, I want to make sure it sticks. I'm going to put a little dab of glue there. A little dab of glue right along here, right along his nose. So because we really do want to make sure it stays in tight under his nose. Another glue stick. Want it to stay in nice and tight, right along his little nose here. Okay. I'm going to take my fur. I'm just going to do what I did before. I'm just going to really wiggle it in there so it's right in the crack. There we go. It's in there. Now I can come along this side and I can come along my fur here and just bring that right up in there. Come along this side on the top edge here, make a little bit of glue there. I'm going to pull up and do it right there. We want to try and glue onto the white sock because you want it to be more solid. It'll go ahead and stick to the bottom sock, but you want to make sure that it's on the white sock. It keeps it covered for when we bring our hat down. We want to make sure we cover up as much of that white sock as we can. And look at our little guy already, how cute he is. And look, I can even take his, I can take this, I can give him a mustache. Give him a little fun thing there where his mouth would be and bring his fur down right along like that. That's it. So now we're ready for our hat. Same thing. I'm going to take my next sock. Going to cut it off at the heel. Okay, perfect. Now what I'm going to do is, you know, on some of your Christmas socks, you have a colored toe. It might give you a nice contrast. Mine is just plain red here, but it doesn't have the checkered. It's the perfect place to make, your sock makes its own pom-pom hat. So I'm going to take a couple of cotton balls. I think I'll take 3. I'm a big pom-pom. I'm going to shove these cotton balls right up here into the toe. Oh, looks like I'm going to put a little bit more in there. And I'm going to just fluff those around. And I'm going to make what would appear to be a little pom-pom right on the top of his hat. I'm taking a rubber band. Whoops. Take a rubber band. Gonna put that right around there. And look, you have a built-in pom-pom already on your hat just by using the toe of your sock. I'm gonna roll up my edges here. And look, perfect winter hat all ready for us. So now the hat's a little floppy. You can see on this gentleman, I didn't cut the sock. I love this little sock and I absolutely left the whole thing. So he had kind of a foldy little hat here. You can do whatever creative thing you want to do with your hat. I'm gonna take a little bit of fluff here. Again, you can use cotton balls. You could even probably use the top of the sock that we cut off. Just shove that in there just to give it a little body. So there's his little toboggan hat. Here's our little guy here. Just going to bring this down over his body and right down into his face. And there he is. Okay. Now we're going to glue this hat on, same thing as well. We're going to try to avoid putting glue onto his hair though. It won't stick well and it might burn the hair. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it up, and from right up here, I'm going to put the glue right along the white sock, right along the edge into his nose, and I'm going to push his hair down. I'm going to put that line of glue right along the white sock, and I'm just going to scooch my hat right down on top of him. Boom. I'm going to do the same thing along the back, except here I want to make sure that I'm covering up the white sock here. So I'm going to bring my glue right along that edge, make sure I get that white sock completely covered. Same thing here. This one, I'm going to bring it down onto his little tunic. I'm going to bring it here. I'm going to bring it right along his little tunic, put a couple of drops up into the white sock. And then I have just a little bit of white sock showing left here. That's where my glue is going to go to make sure that I get that white sock covered up. Give him a little push. I want all that white sock covered up. Fluff up his little toboggan here. Give it a little mushy mush. And there we have our first little gnome. What do you guys think? I hope everybody enjoyed it. It's such an easy thing to do. So you may be saying, I'm not a crafter. Am I going to do this? You know what? If you're alone for the holidays, keeping our minds busy, keeping active, and maybe you're not a sewer or an artist, but put the puzzle away for a second. Turn the TV off for a minute. Do something creative. Another thing this is great for, I know a lot of us are getting to spend time with our families again this Christmas. If you're going to the grandkids or you've got grandkids coming over, I got to tell you, this is a great kid craft. Nothing better than grandma, grandpa doing a craft with the kids. They've got their machines out all the time. They're watching TV. Maybe they don't like the same thing as you do. But I'll tell you, I made these last year with my 7-year-old little cousin. Her mom, my cousin, said, hey, Emma would like to make something for her aunts this year. Can you help me out? And so we went shopping together and we sat at the kitchen table, and Emma, I helped her just with the glue gun. Emma was able to make a little gnome for all her aunts. So this is a really fun craft that you can do when you're trying to connect with maybe your grandkids, whether they're 7 or they're in high school. This is a fun thing that you can do with them. But I think it's a great way to give somebody something homemade, something with a little bit of love. So fun way to wrap it. I actually found this at the Dollar Tree. I couldn't resist picking it up because we're doing gnomes today. But what a great box. You can make a gnome, put it in a gnome box, and give it to somebody. Absolutely love that. Something else, if you like gnomes, I found these dish towels at the Dollar Tree too. It was a great buy for $1. Got my little gnome dish towel here. Goes right along with my gnome too. Loved it. So this is our gnome, but it wouldn't be helpful if I didn't have a couple of hacks for you. So, a couple of ideas. You may not have this polyfill. This is a Dollar Tree pillow. I've opened up the top of it, and guess what's inside? I've got all this polyfill that I could easily make 4 or 5 gnomes with using a Dollar Tree pillow, because a bag of polyfill is going to cost a few dollars. I've got plenty here. What else can I do with this? Okay, I would be more careful, but I don't want, I'm going to cut it off today. I started it out to show you, but you know what I can do with this? There's something else, another hack I can do with this. This little fur that was on top of that pillow, I could actually bring that around and make him a little fur-lined cap right on the top of his cap there. That would work great. You want your gnome to have a little more personality? This guy, not only can I use the fiber fill, I could cut off his arms and glue those right here. And he could have little, and I can put little hands on my gnome, which I think I'm going to do with this one. I think I'm going to take these, I'm going to glue them right here at the edge of his beard, and I'm going to glue his little hands together. Let's see how that's going to work. What do you think? So you can add so much personality to your gnome, and that is so much fun. Let's see how his little hands look here. Let's give him some arms. What do you guys think? Should I try it? I've never done this before, but I saw that little guy and I thought, hey, I kind of like that idea. Okay, I'm gonna give him an arm right there. And I'm gonna come on this side, give it a little glue. I'm gonna give him a little arm right here. And now, look guys, now my gnome has arms. So just, I mean, there's so many creative things you can do with these little guys. So the next thing is the beard. Could be difficult for you to find that polyfill. This little Santa, I also meant to, sorry little Santa, but I don't think he's the cutest ornament in the world. Not bad, but I don't feel bad taking him and taking off his beard that is just glued on to this little plastic Santa face. And look what I can do here. So now, if you can't get to that, go and get this big fur that I've showed you. This at the Dollar Tree, I could absolutely have just used this for Santa's beard. There's actually enough for me to make 2 gnomes with this just from a Dollar Tree ornament. I'm not going to let it go to waste. For my next gnome, I might not even use a sock. If I make a small one, I could use the Santa hat on my next gnome too. Lots of fun things. I actually found this tiny little sweater at the 99-cent store. So I could actually, using a baby sock or a children's sock instead of this big sock, I could put the white sock in here, fill it with rice, and make a little gnome that has a sweater on it. So there's lots of little hacks that we can do here. I think the best one is probably the beard hack. These were all over the Dollar Tree store. Absolutely perfect, so you don't have to go look for fur anywhere. You've got a pre-made beard going right under your little Santa nose. So, Zyra, do you want to unmute anybody if they have any questions? This is my little gnome for the day. And I can take his hands away. What do you guys think?
Hold on, I'm asking them to unmute, so
Okay.
if they have questions. Okay, I think that's everyone.
So what do you guys think of our little gnomes today? Pretty
Well,
easy, huh?
I think it's really cute and easy to do.
Yeah.
My problem would be finding all the parts to go to it. I mean, you
So
said the Dollar Tree had, but you had the glue gun, scissor. Well, I got scissors, but I don't have glue gun.
I got my glue gun at the Dollar Tree store.
Oh,
The Dollar Tree and the 99-cent store both sell glue guns.
Yeah, I saw them there.
Fantastic.
And that's why this Santa ornament, if you can't find fur, this Santa ornament, this is an awesome beard that you can use, already pre-made for you right from this little Santa guy.
Cute. It's really cute.
So that's why I wanted to find a couple of hacks for you, because I don't want to go to Michael's and all over the place. They actually, they sell rice at the Dollar Tree and the 99-cent store too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. So yeah, like I said, and I've never done one with arms, but I actually kind of like the little arms I cut off of that elf, and which I got at the Dollar Tree store. It's kind of cute.
It's cute.
Also, what you can do too, if you have wreaths, if you're a Christmas crafter, you can put some little bobs up in his hair. I've got a little gold bell here that I can tie up right onto his little hat. I have like a little box here. It's just got some little bobs and some berries, things that have fallen off. I think this fell off of a reef last year, but I picked it up and put it in my little bobbin box. But yeah, you can let your mind, whatever you have around the house. But look, I didn't put any embellishments on him, and his hat is adorable because you use that toe for a pom-pom, and it looks just great.
Cute, yeah. That would be really nice.
But if you've got some kids coming out, or you're trying to do something to connect with your grandkids, this is a really easy craft for children of all ages. I'm a children of my age, and I have fun doing them as well.
Stacy?
It's fun.
Stacy?
Yeah.
Stacy?
Yes.
I had to sign in late because it was updating my Zoom. But did you put rice inside the initial sock?
Yeah.
And then what
So
did you glue it or tie it?
Inside the white sock, it's just white long grain rice.
Did you tie it or glue it?
This one has about 3 cups, a little less than 3 cups, and this little guy has about 2 cups in it. So you can adjust it to how big you want your gnome.
Did you tie the sock or glue it at the end?
So,
with the rice.
So this no, not until I put his clothes on. This little gnome I did not tie. I made him a little chubby, kind of a little round gnome. Oh, on the top, you mean the top of the sock?
Yes.
After I put the rice in?
Yeah.
Yes. After I put the rice in, I took a rubber band to hold it for me, and then I absolutely tied it with a piece of string, tied it really tight. And I have this little guy is probably a couple of years old, and he hasn't leaked. He hasn't had any rice come out of him at all. Yeah, so he's a couple of years old. So just tying it with string, I haven't had any problems with the rice coming out of the socks.
Okay.
And then again, if you want him to be fat, you just kind of leave him like that. If you want him to stand tall, you put a ribbon around there's way you give him a little belt, and he'll stand taller. But these have similar amounts of rice to them, to be perfectly honest with you. This one has just probably about a half a cup more than this. The only difference is I tied it. If I were to take this guy right now and put a ribbon around him, I could tallen him up. I could make him taller too, just by putting that stability ribbon around him. But I like him chubby.
That is cute.
It's so easy, guys. You don't have to have any, any ability. It's just a fun craft. It's a great little thing. And again, I found these other little gnome things at the Dollar Tree store. It's just a lot of fun. And again, I think the best
Pues yo
hack is to
pensaba
look-
que allá, porque allá teníamos el chile y todo, salsita aparte.
I took care of it.
If you haven't opened up our newsletter this month, it's in your inbox. So we encourage you, please take a look at our newsletter. We've got some great things coming up next week on the 14th. We have Holiday Scam Edition. So, there's lots of people out there trying to scam people, especially as we get older. They can trick us on the phone. They can trick us on our computers. So next Tuesday, the 14th, check out our website. Get the link, but log on to our fun-filled scam edition. It's going to teach you how to look out for those holiday scams so people don't scam you. It's a great event. So we encourage you to join us for that next week. Also in our newsletter, we've highlighted our memory care center, which was closed for all of the pandemic. We were able to reopen in August. This is a daycare center for people with memory loss problems. It's a place where family caregivers can bring their person who has memory issues, and one of our wonderful senior companion care partners, hello everybody who's watching today, many of them volunteer and are matched up with one of our memory care clients, and they are their buddy for the day. They're their volunteer. We do crafts, they watch movies, they sing songs, they have snacks together. It's a great environment for people with memory loss to keep active, different activities all day, and we couldn't do it without our care partner volunteers. So again, Zyra, who's on my list, and myself, we are the 2 volunteer directors at Agingnext, and we are always looking for new volunteers. For RSVP, we're looking for drivers, we're looking for people to deliver meals, we're looking for people to help out other seniors with their daily errands. We need volunteers for that. Zyra, would love to have you as a care partner to partner you up with a homebound senior who needs a friend. So volunteering keeps you young, but as a volunteer who helps a senior, you're helping that senior stay young and happy as well. It's volunteering, I can't stress enough how great it is. And I'm seeing all these volunteers online with us today. It's been fun to connect with you all year on these Zooms, but we thank you for your service. And if there's any more questions, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to sign off and say happy holidays.
Thank you so
Merry
much.
Christmas to you.
Yeah, thank
Merry
you.
Christmas, everybody. Happy
Look forward
holidays.
to the next time.
In February, we're done. I think we're going to do an edition in February. It'll be back to cooking. And I got asked by a volunteer, I need to make a few more senior friendly recipes that are a little easier. So I'm going to do some sweets in February. It is Valentine's Day, but I'm going to be doing a dessert that you can make for one person any night of the week. So, okay, it's a lot of fun, easy to do. And I'm going to be making some lemon drop cookies. It's just 3 ingredients and they are delicious.
Really?
So I'm going to make some easy, friendly recipes in February. I hope to see you there.
Okay, thank you so much. I enjoyed
Thank
it
you.
very much.